What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one, we have what Germans feared most about the British and the American soldiers. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's get to it.
June 6, 1944, Omaha Beach. As the 352nd Infantry Division fights for its life against the American 1st Division, Oberlieutenant Franz Gockel scrawls in his diary, "They keep coming, not like soldiers, like a force of nature."
Oh,
Meanwhile, near Cannes, Hauptmann Helmut Ritgen of Panzer Lehr watches British tanks advance and notes, "Every movement is precise, mechanical, and terrifying."
I feel like that's what I've heard in other videos as well. That like the Americans, like they said, like a force of nature. They were like they weren't as technical, as precise as the Brits. They were very resilient, very had a lot of perseverance. You feel me? They're not gonna stop coming. They're going to keep coming, and they're gonna come at you with big numbers and everything. And then when I hear the Brits, it's how just technical and precise and like how accurate and everything is. Like they're just like you said, every movement is precise, mechanical, and terrifying. That's definitely what I've heard in other videos about both armies in World War II as well.
These men witnessed the same war, but their enemies could not have been more different. Today, we reveal exactly what German veterans said about the ultimate World War II rivalry: American aggression versus British discipline. Using never-before translated diaries, classified after-action reports, and post-war interrogations, this is the definitive comparison, through the eyes of those who fought both. The Germans coined a term for American warfare, Materialschlacht, the Battle of Materials. And no one documented it better than Oberst Hans von Luck of the 21st Panzer Division. His after-action report from Kasserine Pass, February 1943, states, "The Americans lack our tactical tradition, but their artillery responds 3 times faster. When their forward observer calls, shells land before we can relocate."
Oh,
Luftwaffe ace Hans-Joachim Marseille wrote in his final diary entry, September 1942, "Their P-40s are inferior to my 109, but today I saw 50 of them. Where do they get so many planes?" While Americans overwhelmed with firepower, the British earned a darker nickname. General Feldmarschall Erwin Rommel wrote to his wife on
I think to me it reminded me of I don't know if you guys watch Formula One, but when you see so many fans saying like it's not the driver, it's because their car's the fastest. That's why they're winning. Like Max Verstappen. So I respect anybody getting in them cars because it's insane. But it's not the, and so that's kind of what it sounded like. It's the Americans just have better and more equipment than us. Like they're not better trained soldiers than us, but they have more equipment that is faster, that is better, and yeah. And so now here we go with the British.
November 2nd, 1942. The Tommies dig in like termites. Even when we break their lines, they cling to rubble and die rather than retreat.
Oh,
Sanitäts Unteroffizier Rolf Monk of the 15th Panzer Division noted, "British wounded refuse morphine until after their mates are treated. This is not normal soldier behavior."
dang. Okay,
On
Brits.
D-Day, the 352nd Division's Gefreiter Heinrich Sevelow, the Beast of Omaha, fired 12,000 MG-42 rounds into the 1st Division. His post-war memoir, WN-62, admits, "By the 5th wave, I realized these were not men, they were machines. They walked through their dead as if ghosts." Unterscharführer Rudolf Schroeder of the 12th SS Hitlerjugend wrote on June 8th, "Americans charge machine guns without cover. At first we laughed until we ran out of ammunition. Meanwhile,
At first we laughed until we ran out of ammunition. And so when he's talking about the Brits, it's kind of again going back to that preciseness. In the Brits, yeah, he's saying they rather their Tommies rather die, rather stick to that rubble and die than to retreat. Right? They will die before you see them retreat and run away. And then, yeah, again, you just see the talk about the preciseness.
machine guns without cover. At first, we laughed until we ran out of ammunition. Meanwhile, the British 50th Division moved differently. Major Hans von der Heide of Panzerlehr reported their tanks advance exactly 200 meters, then stop to bombard us. It's maddening, like playing chess against a computer.
Yeah.
Schütze Urs Kruger, 3rd Fallschirmjäger, noted in Cannes, Canadians clear houses room by room. Americans would have called naval guns and erased the block. In 1944, the SS compiled a secret report, Tactical Comparison of Anglo-American Forces.
That's literally insane. When I talk about the Brits, like, um, just how precise and how organized it sounds compared to America, who's just like gung ho and like he said they walked through their dead like they were ghosts and like they were charging at machine guns without cover. And so the Americans are just gung ho and the Brits are just very organized, very precise, very boom, 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 very tactical. So it's like, and then you hear that quote, Canadians would clear a place room by room. Americans would get a naval gun and get rid of the whole block. And that does sound right.
Lieutenant Klaus Fischer's analysis concluded close combat, British, commandos trained in Fairbairn Sykes knife fighting. Artillery response, Americans, 3-minute average versus Germany's 15.
Jeez.
Night fighting, British, feared phantom patrols in Holland. Adaptability, Americans,
Really?
improvised bridges under fire. Perhaps the starkest difference was in supply. Oberstleutnant Siegfried Westphal, Rommel's chief of staff, wrote, "While we counted bullets, Americans threw away half-used ammo boxes. Their trucks looked new after 1,000 miles. Ours broke down after 200. In 1945, captured Wehrmacht General Anton Dostler was asked why Germany lost. His reply, "Your trucks never broke down. Ours never worked."
Oh.
Beyond tactics, Germans were fascinated by American psychology. Hauptmann Alexander Stahlberg of the 11th Panzer Division wrote in his memoir Bound in Duty, "They fight not for Führer or fatherland, but because it's Tuesday. When we captured a GI near Metz, he asked for a Coke and baseball scores, not political demands."
They fight not for their country or for their leader because it's Tuesday. Oh, that's literally insane. They fight because it's Tuesday, and then he says some a little bit back. Oh, he's talking about the amount of ammunition the Americans had. That's crazy. He's like, right, we're counting our bullets. Like we have to know exactly how many bullets we have. How many bullets they're throwing away half field ammo boxes. That's a huge advantage. Like when you have limitless resources, it's very hard to beat that. No matter how trained, skilled that you are, going up against somebody with unlimited resources, that's just very, very difficult. Their trucks drove 1,000 miles, look brand new. Ours couldn't make it 200. You didn't have the resources to compete.
Classified 1944 Gestapo report B Arch R58345 analyzed US POWs. 78% expressed no hatred for Germans, only desire to finish the job and go home. This apolitical attitude confused our interrogators. The British inspired equal fascination. Lieutenant Hans von Lindorf, a medic at Monte Cassino, noted, "Even with legs blown off, Tommies asked for tea first. Their officers led charges wearing neckties. It was beyond comprehension." Captain Lieutenant Heinz Scheffer's U-boat log, May 1945, records captured Royal Navy sailors demanding proper tea time despite being prisoners, a moment he called the most British thing I ever witnessed. Decades later, the divide endured. When American 101st Airborne veteran David Webster met former Wehrmacht soldier Peter Rees in 1980, their conversation said it all. Webster asked, "Who scared you more, us or the British?" Rees replied, "You had the machines, they had the soul." Two armies, one victory, and a German verdict that still resonates. As Lieutenant Walter Kasper summed it up in his 1945 diary, the British fought with tradition. The Americans fought with the future.
Oh, God, I think you can't sum it up any better than that. The British fought with tradition. The Americans fought with the future. Americans had all the machines, right? They just had too many resources, and the British are just so technical and so skilled at what they do. They've been fighting for so long as a country that they, at this point, I'd say that they probably had mastered it. And so you just kind of see the comparison between the two. And he's like, bro, both of y'all were problems just in different ways. Like they were coming at us in waves. They would not stop. They had way too many resources, and it seemed like they didn't care about dying. The Brits also not hearing about dying. These Tommies, they were relentless. It sounds like they were relentless. And then the Brits, they're just so technical. They're so organized, right? Everything is so precise. Tell me what you think about the video. Who would be the scarier opponent to you? If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, check out the next, and I'll see y'all next time.